On today's episode, Fatherhood, the journey that reshapes a man. We'll be speaking with the soulful artist Timi Dakolo and the fearless creative dancer, actor, influencer Hermes Iyele as they open up about lessons, legacy, and leading with love, redefining masculinity through the lens of fatherhood. Welcome, everybody. Like you know, this is not an interview. This is not a panel. It's an open, honest conversations with men. And you're welcome to listen in. Welcome to Mentality with Ebuka. And I have here with me Timi Dakolo with his yard people. And Hermes Iyele. Thanks for being here today. And of course, the one and only.
Shansa.
I always want to sing your name, I don't know. And I can't sing. So today we're going to be talking about men and fatherhood.
Okay.
And I want to start with a poll that I put up on social media. Very interesting. I put out a couple of polls actually, but this one in particular I want us to talk about because since we're talking fatherhood, and the question was, how differently from your dad will you raise your kids? Or are you raising your kids?
Oh, wow. It's tough.
Interestingly, okay, 13% say their dad was not in the picture. 13%. 9%, interestingly, said not differently at all. So everything their dad did, they're going to do. 35% said just a few changes. But majority, 43%, said very, very differently.
You grew up in the barracks.
So that is my opening question. What would be your option? I think with me, I find my dad very interesting. My dad is very Catholic. I say after Pope is him. That's how much he carries church on his head. But he's also very traditional. He's in my traditional council in the village. He takes those things very seriously. So most times when you combine tradition and Catholic conservatism, you get someone who things have to be a certain way. But he also didn't hold certain things to heart. Like when I tell most people I studied law, they think my parents made me do it. My dad didn't really care. Like, is that what you want to do? Okay. You know, I was going on a reality show. He was just like, what is that? Okay, good luck. I have never understood how he balances these beliefs with letting his kids sort of be a certain way or make their own choices. But at the same time, his conservatism always sipped out on a few occasions. For him, I mean, I guess what we see as being there as a dad today, for them, a lot of fathers back in the day, they're providing and working. And he worked very hard. I have to give him that. He worked very hard. He provided when he needed to provide. But a lot of people think now of, are you attending your child's school dance, PTA, all of these things, you know. So I guess I'll fall into the category of doing things a little differently, changing a few things maybe, because I've seen he did good, but maybe tweaking it. So I don't know where you guys fall in. Is it very, very differently for you or not at all?
My situation is quite different.
Yes.
I didn't grow up with my dad, but I knew him. I grew up with my grandma.
Okay, I know you've talked about your grandma quite a bit.
I grew up with my grandma, and she's the traditional grandma, go to school kind of raising up. Your success is in books. It's in the hard work that you do daily. It's in the habits. So you see all those 4-a-side football. It's none of your business. All those counter ball, all those things. You have why are you doing that? Why are you just watching TV? Why you just what have you achieved? You know, that kind of I would say as a child, I did not lack love. Because she's an old woman, but she poured it. I could feel it. Literally feel it. Like this woman, everybody, she can do anything to me, but not you. You get?
Did your father re-enter the picture at some point, or did you grow up without him?
No, that was not my father. That was just my auntie, my auntie's husband, my father's twin brother. Occasionally shows up. You know, this kind of family house, but it was my grandmother basically doing the raising, like the morning prayers. No, you can't do that. Why you? I remember a situation where I was, this thing, people come to your house, you guys are like reading together. She could not understand why we coming from school after to come and read together. Why you not paying attention in class? Why you doing homework? So I had to explain that. She said, no.
So why you do homework together?
Yeah. So she's that kind of woman that explains, like, expects so much. And when she sees it, when she doesn't see it, she will always constantly remind you, you're falling short.
Did you feel like you missed, or did you have a father figure? Because you talked about your uncle and his wife.
My auntie's
so was that the
husband.
father figure?
No, my grandma was Then my auntie's husband was the man in the house that does things. Okay, small enjoyment, small go and read book stuff. But I knew I slept. I knew I woke up. You get? Yeah. I know.
This is very interesting because there's a debate that a lot of men now put up about how homes need to be. And they say a lot of what young men are doing now, whether it's all these mass shootings or whatever it is, they always say it's because they lacked love or there was no father figure. People will tell you that crime rates in certain places are at a certain level because the dad was not in the pictures. But it's interesting to hear you say you grew up with love.
I would differ from that truth, yes. I would move away from that truth because as I'm here right now, I don't think I'm capable of hating another human being. Yeah. Because I wasn't raised to survive. Like, we didn't have much, but I was loved. Like, if I needed to buy stuff, somehow.
The money goes through.
Yes, even if I have 10, somehow. Like, my grandmother was that woman that goes and beg them in school, give me some time. I don't get the money.
But I go pay.
And they know. And they know not, like, please, just allow him 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, I will get it. And somehow, because,
God bless.
Yes, she was the petty trader woman that sells things in and out of season.
That's amazing.
So there was no... they never complete, but we know. So when they say, everybody come outside.
Interesting. What was the case for you?
It was a bit similar to yours. My dad had a level of levity that just allowed us be so much. So, and like him as well, it was more of never comparing us to anything. So we never felt a sense of comparison to anyone or anything at any point in time. But that was like, if you want to go to church, go to church. If you want to go somewhere else, he just gave us some sort of...
I didn't have that one. I had to go to church.
My dad, and he was very protective still. Like you said, there's certain things that you cannot get away with, regardless of how free he was with us. There's certain things he just made sure that we understood. So we stayed mostly in uncompleted buildings, in estates. And then we had other people stay in those uncompleted buildings. For some reason, we were friends with all the quote-unquote rich man children. We'll just play with them, we'll talk with them, we'll speak. They will come to our uncompleted building and they would sit down in because we had like clothes for chairs, they want black and white TV there, and they'll sit down and watch, and then we'll go to their houses. I think I didn't really take much to it at the time, but the other people staying in those uncompleted buildings were just wondering how, like, what is so special about these kids? I think my dad just had that. And I think I believe he was very intentional about raising us. Because more than freedom and every other thing, everywhere we went, it was just clear. And then I overheard the conversation recently. I think my brother heard it or spoke to my dad. I don't think I had a personal relationship with my dad. It was very, what do you need? Whatever you needed for school, for life, you just, take that, go. You need that textbook, whatever. My brother said at some point he heard my dad say, the reason why he did not take a second wife, because my dad raised us single-handedly. My mom was never in the picture until after it was late. And then she came in and then all of the...
Until after your dad was late?
Yeah, that was when she came back into the picture. He said, I think a friend of his asked him, like, why don't you just remarry? It'll make the weight lighter. And he said he knows or believes that another woman would have her own child and might not really treat the ones that he's had as well as he would have them treated. And after that, I think my respect for my dad just went up.
So he was a single dad, is what you're saying? Raising how many of you?
We're 4. Wow. And then my mom left at a critical time. We're all young, very young. I think my sister was almost 2 at the time. I was 2 and some. And to think that a man, quote unquote, would raise children of that age with so much integrity it's perceived as impossible, or it's not something that can happen. And another thing that I think my dad was intentional about was how we approach things, what we felt, how I think it was just really intentional about raising us. So that's it.
There's plenty of love on this too.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
How was it for you?
Well, I think what Hermes said is very important in the sense that fatherhood is not just biological, it's intentional. That's really what fatherhood is supposed to be. Now, I think in fatherhood being intentional, many fathers work with the tools that they were given and as a product of the environment that they grew up in. And so while some people may not have had as great relationships, like, from the results of the poll, for instance, there's some people who may not have had as positive relationships with their fathers as he may have had. But there's also a place where you kind of have to, as because your fathers, if nothing else, if you watch your parents become grandparents, you see that even they evolve and they change. They become softer. They become, sweeter. You're just like, are you the same person
I remember
that was chasing me with horse
You
whip?
almost killed me.
You understand? But they become grandparents. And I heard somewhere that when parents are blessed to become grandparents, it's like they've been given a second chance to raise you again, just in a smaller child's body. So, so they lighten up. And I think that's what's been true in my sense, because both of my parents, God bless them, my dad was an orphan. My mom might as well have been an orphan as well. They grew up in really harsh circumstances where, my dad was, jumping from home. In fact, he needed to perform to survive. So he needed to use his athletic ability to get through school because he needed a scholarship. And on the holidays, you're just kind of jumping from one uncle's house. When they kick you out of here, you go to another auntie's house. You're suffering abuse here. You're being beaten here. You're being abused in what? So, and that was the circumstance that my parents grew up in. And so from that perspective, the tools that they have to then become well-adjusted parents are very limited. And I think we have to then now look at it through that lens and give them grace and say, hey, fathers are supposed to give love and discipline, right? Maybe for some of us, it was a bit more on the discipline side when you were a child, but it's not because there was no love. It's just that they had a limited way of understanding how to express it. So then as you now become a father yourself, for many of us, it's like, okay, if this is what I experienced, how do I make the adjustments? Because you can either repeat the cycle or you can try and improve on it. Because if you think about what your parents, the circumstances that they grew up in, whether it was poverty or abuse or lack or whatever, they've improved on what they were given, right? In what they were able to give you was an improvement on what they had. So then the responsibility now falls on us to now say, okay, how do I improve on this a bit better? Is there something I can do differently? Without falling too far on the side where it's now all love and no discipline, where you're now raising weak children. This idea of gentle parenting, I think, is something that needs to be unpacked properly so that you don't raise children who don't know what it is like to be corrected or to say, no, you can't do that, who have no boundaries or who are spoiled. So it's really, for me, it's about finding that balance. It's about looking at what your parents were able to do with grace, but seeing what they were able to work with to produce what they did and saying, how do I now come to the table and be better than that?
So I find the conversation the thing you just spoke about very interesting, because I found myself in situations where I'm around male friends and then I'm talking to them about how people have so much expectations, but very little consideration into situations that make people. And I think you just put that into perspective. One thing I've repeated over time is the time our quote unquote parents grew up, there were a bunch of things. There was slave trade, there was civil war. So even thinking about how traumatizing those experiences can be, personally, I don't think I'm strong enough. Maybe if I I experienced that, maybe it would be different. But I don't think currently, within this age and time, I have the capacity to still raise a child after experiencing...
After fighting a war.
People's brothers were being sold, experiencing all of that. So you spoke to Grace about giving grace and then bringing a bit of consideration into that. With what they had, the experiences they had, you will see how well they did.
Yeah.
And then from that, you can improve on that experience.
Yeah.
I just thought I'd mention
Well
that.
said.
Interesting. I wanted to go into gentle parenting, but okay, let me go into that because I want to talk on the role of the father with another poll, but we'll get to that poll later. But you mentioned gentle parenting there, and it's one of the things that this generation has been accused of. For you, all you millennial dads. I am not a gentle parent. But I always would like to reference this video I saw of John Mayer. John Mayer?
John Mayer?
That's not John Mayer. The TV late show guy. Can't remember his full name now. I'll Google it. He had an entire video on Father's Day on gentle parenting, and it was so profound to me about how, because it almost feels like a lot of men now are trying to overcompensate for what their dads didn't do, and have now become these parents who don't
instill this.
Your children talk back. So are those things right? Because what is respect and what is fear? I guess is where the line is drawn. As a father, most fathers were feared.
Yeah.
But you still want to keep the respect. But his point is that we're losing even the respect now. Your children talk back at you when, you give them instructions. They are throwing tantrums at 10 years old. A 10-year-old should not be throwing a tantrum at Ebano. At Ebano,
I
things
brought
like
you into this world, I can take you out.
But gentle parenting is a thing. And it also seeps into schools. I don't know what school your kids go to when they were here. But you have this thing that a lot of schools at least I've seen it a couple of schools in Lagos do now, where they go for a swimming competition or gymnastics competition and everybody gets a medal. A participation
medals.
Why? You don't want to make some other kids feel bad. Right? So the winners get medals, but there's a participation medal for everybody or a certificate or something.
Yeah.
So everybody goes on with something. I'm sorry, there should be a winner and a loser. It's
The real world does not do that.
Yeah, schools have scrapped position.
medals.
We used to do position where you carry
second,
I carry second, I carry first. That I can kind of
It came with the
understand.
ladder. It came with the seat.
Not only did some schools do that, they used to even call people out on the stage to say they will not disgrace the bottom three.
Yes.
And that's it. Last position. So a lot of schools
really
did
do
that. The shame people who came bottom three. But now the gentle parenting has even seeped into everything now and fathers have become a part of it. So I guess my question is, what role are we supposed to now play in that? Are we losing what fatherhood is supposed to look like? Or is gentle parenting even bad in the context of, the way the Nigerian... Because for me, I don't know that I'm a gentle parent. My wife doesn't think I am. And I do a lot of carrot and stick. I've never hit my kids, but I do the carrot and stick figuratively. I should be able to give you an instruction and you go do it immediately. But I should also be able to sit down with you and I have some of the best conversations with my kids because they like me enough to share things with me. Sometimes even more than my wife. But at the same time, I should be able to walk into a room and I don't know whether the balance is important for a lot of people. But some people say they want their kids to be their guy, their friend. I don't know your thoughts on that.
Okay, so this is a very interesting part of this story because I was raised in love, but I was also raised in...
With the rod.
Like, there are certain things that will cross your mind as a child because a child's mind is wild. It goes places, imagine things. The consequences of that action is what that stops you from doing certain things. I grew up in a face me, I face you environment. That if your neighbor sees you doing stupid thing, now from that place, you go, they collect, come. Then, imagine bringing you back home and reporting you to my grandma, the first question she will ask, you beat him? Like, you give him small so that I will continue from there. And it's that kind of environment that, you see, like, I came to Lagos and saw some certain things like, Papa, picking to do certain things in presence of Papa.
No born you well.
I don't imagine my life. Like, I was in the plane one day. Hey, God. Oh, this boy was doing. It's like
You were feeling hurt.
Yes, no, it was 10, 11. It's not like a small baby. Hey, God, like, I was just shaking my leg. I said, God, if I press come, so this boy was so far ghost. Like, I said,
But you hit your kid?
No, the punishment is worse than that.
Okay.
So, okay, let me give you an example. I know Sabi they do all those summer things. When I grew up, nothing like summer, now holiday. Our holiday no far. Holiday was my auntie's house 2 streets away. If my auntie does not have food there, I will come back to the place where I live to eat, then go back to my auntie's house. You know, this kind of holiday things, all these vacation things. So I brought my kids for summer. I said, no, me and when they go anywhere, when I come here, come sweep outside, come wash plates, come do this.
As in when you went up, you took them abroad?
Yes, they came here.
Okay.
Like 3 months. They just left like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
You know, sometimes if you stay away from your kids, you like to, when they come back, I observe everything. It's probably
to see what has changed.
Yes, yeah. I observe everything. So, my kid, I can tell you now, if my wife calls me sometimes, I will tell you who did it. Because I know their strength and who is doing what, who is causing the most trouble. Who thinks that they can hide and watch TV by 11. I used to tell my son, you're not a guy, man. Give me your phone. So I bought them things here and seized it. After the excitement. Just because one person, I believe that if one person commits a crime, everybody commits the crime. So the next person will come and
correct each other.
Yes. They will tell themselves amongst themselves, like, you want to put us in, you will hear it, they will say, you want to put us in trouble. You want to put us in trouble. Take your plate downstairs. All those kind of things. When we were grown up, nobody told us. Yeah. Uncle, you had the thought of you eating and leaving your plate and going out is enough to die. You understand what I mean? Like, you see this genital parenting thing, it's some philosophy. Well, first of all, we're Africans.
But are you gentler?
No, they're my guys. They know that when I'm their guy, I'm their guy.
Because if you don't beat them, that alone is different from how you grew up.
No, yes, that's how I improved on it, guys. I talk to my children, I say, what's up? Every day, I can't remember the day I have not spoken to my children. What's up? My son plays football. My daughters, the last one likes to write and read. So it's the encouragement thing that I give her. Yeah. So you write, don't worry, I'll give you £1. If it's interesting. Hallel, what's up? Hallel is the in-between child. But she's that one.
Middle child.
She's that one. Like, so you have to deal with them differently.
Yeah.
Who is your friend? No, you can't. You're not on any social media. If I'm posting for you. You're not the one posting anything because it's out there. Yeah. And one thing I believe is that if you don't talk to your children, someone else will.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See that thing where our parents will be coming, you just hear window. Everybody don't escape. We just bring book that we're not even reading. It's all those pretense. It's all those. Yeah. So now we know when to wake up. They know that I grew up in a house. My grandmother cannot wake up before you now. Who born you? You would think that it was hard, but 5 a.m., I'm here now telling you that if I sleep 3 a.m., my body is used to waking 5 a.m. I wake up for no reason. Even if I'm not doing anything, I'll just wake up, stay a bit, then go back to sleep. It has shaped me. I've not missed any flights. I can't tell I've not missed any flights. Like, I've not missed flight that is my doing that. Oh, I showed up at the airport late or anything. And another thing that kind of love relationship taught me is how to be able to talk to anybody in this world. I can't be intimidated by any human being. Uncle, I will tell you, I grew up, see, I am the last child of my grandmother. My cousins were older than me, but they can't talk to my uncles the way I can talk to them. I can say, Uncle, please move your shoe. Let me sweep this house. My cousins can't try it because we're in the same house. No, you understand that relationship that I'm the last child. I say, Uncle, please now, I know you that beans. Now wait till me. Now what you go chop for evening? You will come from his house. I won't come into your business. Don't say waiting in his house. So I'm the guy that can say it, but my cousins can't say those kind of things. Again, a love child is a confident child. But you must always separate when it is love time and when it is, hey.
Your points are so valid to me, but I was also just wondering now, does it mean, because your grandmother did an amazing job,
Oh, she
is
did.
what
she
you're
did.
saying.
She did.
But there's also a lot of talk about, fatherly love. And you did it.
Yes, I'm doing that
You are
now.
doing it.
And because
So
I needed to be there.
Did you need examples from a man?
Let me see. In terms of books, yes. I had an uncle that, okay, let me give you a story. I didn't understand maths.
See now.
No, like I didn't get maths. I got everything else except maths. Everything else in the sense that what is an alphabet doing?
Inside this calculation.
Like in just primary school, it was all numbers. Then I got to secondary school, it was it was X, and I was always arguing. Then another thing that came up was pi. What is pi? What is 22%? Why is it doing it? So I was always arguing in class because I didn't get it. Then I now went to stay with one of my aunties because my grandma was now sick. She had a husband that loves maths. He gave me a whole book. We sat down and we discussed maths every day. Every day. I don't know what I did. So if I carry this technique and do it, I never fail it. So I'm telling you that, okay, and then my auntie likes books, just like my grandmother. So I was reading, she was always with a novel. I was reading books that I had no business reading. James Hadley Chase, John Grisham.
James Patterson.
Yes, I was reading books and the more I read book and then because I had to go and practice the grammar now. I'll take it to school to impress girls.
Practice grammar, Jesus.
So you get that there's always a place for a father.
Sure.
There's always a place for a father. Let's not take the question that, okay, because I was raised like this. There are things that, I said this thing in terms of football. I was telling my Arsenal friends that, Ebuka, you see why Arsenal is playing very well? The defense has fear for Gokeres. Just listen.
The difference?
That Gokeres is there.
Okay.
You're not seeing what he's doing, but he's keeping the defenders in check. I'm just giving you as a
You must bring us now.
No, I see. There are people that are just
What are we
there.
talking about?
No, we're talking about.
Don't ask for life.
No, I'm just
use
telling
another team. Use another team.
Just a father.
Use another team. Use another team.
Wait. Just a father being there.
Who is the father? Go cares.
Go away.
In the defense.
How much?
In the defense.
See, just a
I don't
father.
like this.
Just the presence. He's doing certain jobs that you might not notice, but it's there. My children will behave a certain way when I'm in the UK. So that they will not lose certain privileges when I'm going. If I'm not there, I say I don't believe in sleepovers. My wife will say, oh, my friend, I say, I call my son, I saw his somewhere. I say, where is this? Mommy, let me go to my friend's house. Me, I don't believe in going to somebody's house to sleep. You saw yesterday in school, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Why did people discuss everything in school? You see, but just being there, he's not going to ask that question.
Yeah.
You get?
Yeah.
My daughters will not say, no, we don't want to eat this, everybody's eating because I'm there. I'm not said anything.
Just the presence of
Just being there.
That's... You had a hyper present dad. Because I wanted to go into what a present father in 2025 looks like, right? You had a hyper present dad. And it's interesting that for you, you didn't even need a dad to be the kind of dad you are now. Trying to understand what present fathers today should mean. There's all of this talk about gender roles now, Does your wife change the tire when the tire is flat? It's
Do I change it?
That's
the issue. That's the thing now, Who's cooking? Does a man cooking for the family suddenly diminish, in the eyes of his kids? These were things that were seen as hyper masculine as a father back in the day. And all of that. And what does being present now mean? Is it enough? Like you said, just being there changes everything. Is it enough to just be there? Or what does being present?
Do you want to go? Or should I?
I think
he had a very present.
I think it would differ from people what it means for a father to be present. For me, yeah, it wasn't a choice. My mom left. Things got a bit hard for my dad. My mom left. So my dad did not have a choice. We experienced my dad, and I like to tailor things to truth and reality, other than what ifs and perfection, as it's perceived or expected to be. I believe that with him, he had to read books. Me, I watched a lot of films. I'm just a sucker for watching films, and I like to believe that I'm very observant to the things that I feel like I should have or can do better at. And films taught me a lot, from language to grammar to accent and every other thing, just all of that. And from all of that, I just find that it's a different thing. Whatever it might mean to one person is not what it means to have a present father. Because some people would complain about one thing that they did not like, and that's what another person did not have at all. So it's like, oh, I like this a lot. This person had it too much. I think it just goes back for me to what he already said, what Banky already said. It's more of personal experiences of the father figures. It'll come a time in a man's life where you have to heal from whatever it is that 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 word has been abused. Jesus. But then again, it comes a time when you have to take into cognizance what is working and what you want to work for you. And for what you want to work for you, what you have to do or change for that to happen. And that's where, in my opinion, it's very watered down what it means to be present right now. It's more of allowing a lot of things that did not build character in anybody to go, not one person. Like having people compete and then giving everybody medals. I don't know what that is.
That thing blows my mind.
I don't know what it is. But I like to believe that certain losses build character and a will, or the will to want certain things more. And then that will inspired great character over the years. So if you take the experiences that would give a child the need to do, then do not expect the lack of will. Do not regret the lack of will in a child to do certain things. Because there are situations situations.
Talk your truth.
There are situations and experiences that build will. And they are, in my opinion, pain teaches a whole lot more than pleasure ever will.
Truth.
Ever will. You put somebody in a comfortable situation, you're trying to take from that table. And I'm not, this is not me over glorifying suffering or anything. No, I'm not saying suffer unto you. No, there's something that comes from a bit of wanting to get something right and then going through the process of doing that. I think I did a quick video on something. Hard work begets smart work. So you only have to do something once to figure it out. But that once, you see, like say for instance, I want to start the podcast. I would have to figure out which studio, who can I call, who is intellectual enough for this topic, make some mistakes. But the next time I want to do that, because I've done it before, I don't have to make certain mistakes around that situation, which means I'm wiser and I'm doing better. But it took that experience to do better.
I think there's something that you said. There's a quote that I read once that said, hard times create strong men. Strong men create soft times or easy times.
Easy times, yeah.
Easy times create weak men. Weak men create hard times.
So
And
it's
that's the
It's a
cycle.
circle of things.
So when you said that, I just remembered that quote. The other thing that I wanted to say...
What era are we in now? Just trying to look at the state of the world. Let's not deviate.
It's not my mouth to hear it.
But the other thing I wanted to say is that I think that this idea of being a present father, the definition of it has to evolve and has to be nuanced, because back in the day, the expectation was that the father is the provider.
Pay school fees.
Pay school
Provide
fees,
shelter.
provide
Protect.
rent, do the big ticket things,
And that you're
and
good.
that's it. That was also at a time where economically women were dependent on their husbands.
For the most part, yeah.
So, that was a different time in the world. Now women are educated, they're empowered, they might be earning more than you. You know what I mean?
God, I
So
beg.
what
Please earn more
how
than
do
me.
we get expectations and even policy to catch up with the reality of today. For instance, we want fathers to be present, right? We want them to help out in the home. We want fathers to help out with the kids. But then how many fathers are there? Most of us here don't have 8 to 5 jobs where you're working Monday to Friday. But how many fathers who are in that situation get a real paternity leave where you've had a child and you're given 12 weeks, 3 months, 4 months, whatever the time
with
is.
pay.
With pay to be home to then share that load. But we say, no, we want you to be a present father, but we don't give you the environment and the policy to back that up. So then the mom ends up spending a bit more time in that space where the father still has to go. Maybe, I think some places, maybe they'll give them 2 weeks or something. I don't actually know what the policy is now, but I think those are the things that those definitions and expectations have to evolve to account for the world that we're in now. If you want fathers to be more present in terms of being there in the home, then for a working father, he has to be given that
Consideration.
space, that consideration to be able to do that. Otherwise, it's all just chatter.
Sorry, the talk show person I was trying to remember was Bill Maher, not John Maher.
Okay.
But there's a tweet on gentle parenting I just saw, which I think is bullshit. But gentle parenting is not lazy or passive. I promise it takes way more time and effort to stay calm, listen, respect, and patiently help your child through hard times and big feelings. These are just buzzwords, big feelings. We hold our ground. We just don't disrespect our children in doing so. I don't disrespect my children. But they should have... I know.
Talk about it.
No, the thing frustrates me so much because I feel like fathers are doing better. I also know that fathers should do better. But I'm just worried about... Because we're talking about men here, the feelings of fathers.
Yes.
I don't want to make it about parents. But there's a lot of, like you said, we see certain things now. I mean, our kids are in school now. There's certain times you go to school and you see certain, just like you don't want to judge. But it's like, are we going too far with this
leniency?
Also, are we doing enough still? Because there are still some fathers who are in that box of, okay, this is my role.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this. I feel like this is the one thing with men, probably that we're going to have conversations on this my podcast, where I feel like there should be a middle ground. I don't think men need to, it's my opinion, go too far to one side or the other. I feel like that because raising a child is about balance.
Yes.
Right? You don't want to go too soft. You also don't need to be too hard. I guess it now depends on what that middle ground
looks like.
What's the raise a child the way he should go? What's that?
Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he grows old, he will not depart from it. So that's a scripture from Proverbs 22. And the interesting thing about that scripture is that when a Nigerian or an African hears that scripture, they immediately think beating.
Yes.
Yeah. It's probably
the other thing that the scripture is not just talking about discipline, it's talking about purpose.
Yes. Lead them in the way.
What is your child meant to be? Have you figured out what their purpose is? And are you able to train up the child to sense what that purpose is so that they stick to what God created them to be and not just thinking sticks and stones and beatings and saying, Jonathan. So it's bigger than... So a Jewish person, back in the day, when they read that scripture, they're saying, oh, this is my son. He's a doctor. This is my daughter. She's going to be a this. Because you figured out what the child is meant for, what their proclivities are, what their design says, and you're training up that child in that path so that the child can find their purpose and do that. So it's bigger than just saying, beat a child senselessly.
Senses.
But isn't it the same Bible that's now, I don't know if it's Proverbs. The spare the rod, spoil the child.
No.
What does spare the rod and spoil the child mean or whatever?
We actually think that rod.
But the whole idea of that is to discipline your child so they don't get wrong.
Discipline is, I'm not saying discipline is not important.
Yeah, I'm just wondering
I think that
where people draw that.
If you check the original meaning, it probably not be beating. You know, like there are things that are more painful and correctional to a child than just care. If you take the things that they love.
I mean that, but you know, if somebody might argue that there's some children that you need to spank them.
Emotional.
Somebody might argue.
No, you can spank a child.
There are people who not even use the argument that the Bible says
No.
So they use it as a constant.
if
So when you call it abuse, they say they are following.
Okay.
So, you know,
but if you
I mean-
follow that construe, if you follow Bible in that way
Mm.
that is being quoted, you are going to miss a lot of truth.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because
No,
a
don't
lot
forget
of-
to another pastor there. Sorry.
no, you have to you have to pick things out. Don't pick one scripture
Yes.
and just take it. Let's say a con man.
Yeah.
But that's the excuse a lot of people use.
Yes, because they
do
didn't
that.
read the whole scripture now. So I can come and tell you that they say eyes have not seen, ears have not heard. Neither have you come into that. We have prayed that prayer.
Yeah.
We all prayed that prayer now.
Yeah.
Read the next chapter.
Yeah.
The next chapter of that
Very.
thing say, but God has revealed it to us. But nobody says that.
Yeah.
You get my point? So when we want to pray, God will do big things for us. We do, go to that one and not come down to what the explanation of what he said there. He said, but he has revealed these things to us.
So there's what you're saying is spot on, because there's a principle in theology that is throughout the Bible that it says, out of the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, let every word be established. What that is saying in essence is, if you're going to build a doctrine, build it out of 2 or 3.
Not just you.
No, don't take one verse and just hold on to that. Because the same Bible that says, spare the rod and spoil the child, also says, do not provoke your children to anger.
Mhm.
We don't talk about that. But it's all in the
We
same
never
Bible.
get there.
So you
We never
need,
get there.
you need to take the totality. So yes, discipline is important, but abuse is when you take discipline to such a far extreme that you are now
They drawed it.
you are now
Yeah, like when will your child fear you?
beating children out of anger
Frustration
and frustration,
Again-
and there's no
Yeah.
balance to the discipline you're trying to bring to the table.
So I think the whole thing is situational and very personal. I'll go back to what we agreed on around parenting, what millennials experience as parenting. So imagine you now in a civil war. Some parents can afford to stay in Lagos and some fancy places that were not definitely attacked or
Under attack.
were not under attack by the situation of the time. And the only reason why these people could afford that was because they went to school in their time. So now the parents that did not have the privilege to experience school, imagine the kind of pressure they will put on their children to go to school. Because the only reason why they experienced more hardship than they probably should have was because some other people went to school and could communicate, could defend themselves, could work, and then it puts on expatriate
Make a
level.
better life, yes.
You know? Now, that same person that experienced that is raising a child. What do you think they will make the most important thing for the child to do? It's the one thing they did not have. The Bible, at the time it was written, rod was rod. It was punishment by flogging.
I don't necessarily.
Now, update, I think it was, in my own opinion, but update comes per year. Now, it's up to the individual to now say, oh, things were done a certain way. Like, in our parents' time, I struggled with being a dancer. Because even in school, I looked at it like, what can I pinpoint as dance? What kind of career? How much? Who is earning? What is possible to earn from that? Is that what I really want to do with my life? But now, there's advice. Some people will say, put yourself out there. Whatever talent your child has, try as much as you can to develop it into a delivery level. Because now there are avenues and platforms to earn from things that it was impossible to earn a couple of years back. So, in my opinion, I would say get updates. So the situation or the environment pays you or serves you, rather than just sticking to narratives that have served, are probably still relevant, but not as relevant as other things can be. Within that, say discipline, for instance. There's some things that you would talk with a child and they can understand. There's certain things that you have to punish a child because now you went overboard. This is something I've told you before, and now you've gone overboard. So this is a disrespect to my counsel.
Yeah.
So you have to go through this.
That balance is what I think I guess it has to be relative.
It is relative.
What
Very
balance is,
situational.
because
It is relative.
Very.
I guess the consensus is there has to be discipline, but you also need to show love. But then people define those things in their own way.
Yes.
Yeah.
There are people who still are going to tell you they spank their kids because they think that that's their own way of disciplining. There are people who have conversations. let me talk to you about this thing. My dad was kind of like that. Sometimes I just say, flog me. You would think of your life. My dad can talk for 3 hours over something. I'm sorry.
What do you think about?
Can I go now?
What do you think about the idea that every child is different?
Yeah,
will respond to discipline differently.
I have 2 kids that are the same gender.
But then how do you then make sure you're not being partial? Because if you have 3 kids and one responds to being spanked, the other responds to being talked to, the other maybe something else. How then as a father do you navigate the individual tendencies of each child? And you have children that are getting a bit older.
Yeah.
Especially when they get into their teenage years. How do you then navigate saying, because you can have 2 children that grow up with the same privileges, the same parents,
close
the same
in age
household.
even.
Close. You can even have twins that end up completely different.
Yeah.
So how then do you navigate that as a father?
Okay.
Without one feeling like you're too hard on them.
You're too hard on them or you're too soft on the other.
There's unspoken truths. Every parent does have a favorite child.
I mean, Yusuf, you know your parents' favorite. Every time I tell my mom, it's like, it's not.
No, the unspoken truth that we never say, we never agree to.
Who is my favorite or my parents' favorite?
Your parents' favorite.
But my mom is my elder brother. But my dad is my elder sister. Yeah, I just did. Me and my younger brother. We just did. We know they love us, but we know the love is more.
In my family, everybody says, I'm my mom's favorite.
You did your body.
And my sister is my dad's favorite.
My mom denies it tomorrow.
No, it's just unspoken. Let's not talk about it. Let's just be. So it's quite dicey. You will know that.
So who's your favorite? Your children?
Can't say it. No one is watching. I don't know where everybody thinks.
Do you have a favorite?
Look at me. We're not going to talk about this.
These are
the problem with this person in box now. My kids might probably see this clip and now come and sit down and say, Daddy,
they've asked me before now.
Yes.
When they asked me, I said, your mom.
That's wise.
I see your mom.
I think it's impossible not to have a favorite.
No, it's not. See, it's unspoken.
It doesn't mean you don't. There's just one you're a little more drawn to. It's natural.
So the
if you know you have your own.
I don't know what you're talking about. My favorite is my wife. And I love both of my sons the same.
That's how you win this argument every time. So, they would do stuff like I'm saying.
Yeah, so I wanted to understand, how do you then navigate the difference in children's personalities and knowing how to discipline each one to get the best out of them?
Is that because I know them?
I think even they at some point start realizing why it's different. My kids are 8 and 6, but I think even they at that age now know. Yeah, there's a slight difference in how you handle situations. One just needs a drop it. The other one needs a, am I not talking to you?
Yes.
And they both know now that but I don't know what it's now doing to them. Because that's another thing. They might not necessarily tell you. Maybe they'll now wake up and they do post when they are 23. That's a trauma. But the truth is,
who get you trauma?
But you just have to.
See, I'm in this place where my kids are teenagers and I don't think I was this smart when I was their age.
You didn't have the internet.
I would just say now, this generation of children are, because of the information that they're privy to, they know so much. Sometimes I just be in my room and listen to the things that they talk about. The argument that I say, nah, this time, I know one day. Please don't come ask me anything. I really don't know about this history thing. They were arguing about the things in the British Museum that most African. My son was saying, my son was saying, has Mbappe a French name? They say, well, it's French. Those kind of conversation. N'Golo Kante can never be a French name. So I would say, please don't involve me.
There is some deep colonialists and
people will figure it out. So it's the thing when they come back from school, from something they've taught them, and they start to talk about it. And it's really, they can stay hours talking about it. That's it. But in my head, I'm saying, if I was this smart that year, but I was still part of my school fees. I was money, they work. We see these children, they know how to play you, especially when they become teenagers. They know how to play on your soft side.
So as a millennial, or maybe even a different question, do you raise your daughter differently?
Yes, I raise them differently from my son.
Why is that?
My son is a very touchy person.
Oh, really?
Yes, he's the softest amongst them.
So you're softer with him?
Yeah, no, I'm come on.
You're harder with him?
Yes, like I'm saying, you can't let these girls do this. Look, they can come and wear shirts. that he's keeping for some occasion and taking a lot of pictures. And then before you go and wear the shirt, all their friends have seen the shirt. The other thing that is their shirt, he borrowed the shirt. So you'll be talking, don't do that. But he cannot go into the room and carry their stuff. You hear, it's a girl's room. You don't do that. Like I was saying, but you just... So the argument, okay, my last child can take anybody's stuff, Zoe.
Last born privileges.
Yes, she can take anybody's stuff, my own. And she's almost as tall as me. She can fold the shirts, put it behind like that, and send the pictures I'm not around. And she will have a very valid reason that this goes with this goes with that.
Would it be the same case if the roles were reversed? If your son was the tough one and the girls were soft, would you be hard on the girls?
Yes, I would be hard on them.
Oh,
because
really?
I was telling them, the real world is not like this. I will say the real world is not like, there's no, let it be.
There's no free pass.
Yes, I tell him, you're letting everything go. Because you say, don't hit a girl. I said, no, there are two different things. So you get the girls is my big brother. Okay, Alex, walk me to Aldi. Alex will agree. Zoe, okay, mommy said I should buy stuff from Aldi, let's go. Hey, guy, can't you just walk on your own? So you see how yes, it's a different, it's a very touchy thing. So I always call him, come, let's walk. Don't let Harlem have her way today. You get? So I say it to him.
It's a place to practice.
Yes,
it's a place to practice
don't.
saying no.
Yes, it's very like that. So even he plays football. And I'm telling him, no, nobody can. When they dribble, you hit. You say,
you miss the ball?
Yeah, no, you say it's training. I say that's how you do in the match. If you don't do this now, you go and do it in the match. So teenagers are smart. Oh, Banky. I'm telling you. Like, I'll be, the way they build those UK houses, you can hear from another room. Mm-hmm. It's not that thick wall. So they'll be thinking of how to come and collect like 40 pounds.
They'll be plotting.
You see, they will not send the one that will listen, that I will listen to. Say,
which means they know.
Yes. They know.
So they know.
Like my mother-in-law told me this thing a long time ago. There's something that you have for this girl that you don't have for everybody else. So that girl does not fear anything. She told me when she was 7 one time that I was angry over something. She now came like 3 minutes later and said, Daddy, are you finished getting angry? I was just saying.
How old is she again?
I can't tell you. She now said, she was 7 and said, are you finished getting? Nobody was coming close to me because that day I was really angry in the whole house. Like she now said, are you finished getting angry? See that, have you finished getting angry? Just calm me down. Are we still going to buy the ice cream later? So you see, these kids, you have to raise them differently. Zoe takes things personal. Alex is soft. Hallel wants to win every argument. So there are like 3 different people that... My wife traveled once when she went to do New York Film Festival. I didn't know this thing before. I didn't know that they need to eat 3 different things now. Mm-hmm. That's when I knew I was not a strong man. So sometimes let the women just leave so that you know that there are certain things you're going to learn. So that the night everybody wants to sleep near the daddy. So I've grown up with them like that. I don't tell my children, but I'm a present dad. Most times. Like, hey, what's up? After that, we're going to talk about this. The one that likes to read is reading Uncle Femi's book now. And asking me 95 questions. Because she wants to really make plenty of money. And I said,
your billions are coming.
My hopes lie.
I say, all of you are my retirement plan. So, kids are amazing if you know where to cut between discipline, abuse, and love.
Abuse should not be.
Yes, it should not. But people don't know. People don't know.
Differentiating,
Like, if the danger of raising a timid, fearful child in this generation would come back and haunt you when you're old. So if your children...
In any generation.
Yes.
In any generation.
Yes. The world
this generation is even... We don't send your papa like that.
Yeah.
Generation.
It's a bit more.
If I'll say it out to Father's Day, if your child, when you show up and your child moves away, you are failed. You are failing. If your child cannot come to you, like, you know when my papa and go, we go
As
stay
your
one
person,
place.
yeah.
Yes, if I cannot, my kitchen was going to say, I don't like this thing that Zoe said to me, or this thing happened in school. You don't know a lot about them. They are probably talking to someone. And you don't know the intention of that person they are talking to.
I don't even want to know it. They must talk to me.
Talk to me, beg, if I lie and roll.
I saw this tweet. He said, I think your parents' relationship really does determine your view of love and relationship. I guess what you see is what reflects. I want to come to you now. Because you grew up with a single dad.
So,
and then you now have your idea of love and relationship.
I saw it too.
What was this? I missed this. What happened?
He will come to you, don't worry.
The last I know or checked, he had, what do you call it, what?
I'm polyamorous.
He had 2 girlfriends.
Wonderful.
I was going to add a 3rd. And they all know about each other. So I'm like, are you overcompensating because your dad was alone?
Maybe. But I mean, I wasn't always like that.
Sorry, do you have any? Are you dating 2 girls?
No.
Or right now
I'm a very single man in Lagos.
You have left the 2 of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm chasing the bag.
Okay.
Trying to ground myself within responsibility for family, because now I'm holding position of provider.
But do you think that had anything to do with how you viewed? I don't know if it's possible.
How I view relationship. I think it played a role in my relationship with women. It played a major role. My dad always been around. I think I learned from my dad how to treat people. Or more than anything, I think I learned what love meant from my dad, or means even up until tomorrow. I put that in, not in comparison, but in reference to the love of God as well. It's like, if you think of it, people say, oh, the love of God is unconditional, which means it is duty-based on principle, not reciprocity.
Explain that. What do you mean?
It is the love of God is duty-based.
Whose duty?
To serve. It's a choice based on principle, chosen by the person who is choosing to love. It is not reciprocal.
I'm lost too.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm
so
completely lost.
I'll rephrase it. Okay. So I like to really believe that love is not reciprocal. Why? Because if you, it's impossible to reciprocate the love of God.
Because His love is unconditional.
It's unconditional. Because God's love is unconditional.
It's not just unconditional.
We can't reciprocate at that level.
Principles that God has chosen to define and their self, Himself by. You have no effect to how much love God will give and for why. Because God has stated why God will love, within what reason and how. And He will give that to every and anyone. He will give that to every and anyone. So it doesn't require you to be loved by God.
So just what
I need a drink.
What I want to say is that, and I'm not sure if I'm getting you correctly, but what I want to say is that the love of God is unconditional, but unconditional love requires that you be given a choice whether to accept it or not. I think that's what you're saying.
Yes, it is.
And that
within
context. I agree with that context that God loves us all, but we have free will to say, this is what I want, or this is what I don't want. It's just like being in a marriage. I can say, Susu, I want to marry you, but she has to decide whether she wants to sign up for that covenant relationship or not.
Exactly. Regardless of your lover.
Yeah.
So I'll bring situations into the context. Say the plans. So I like to believe that God is all, God is love, God is all. And then God is what is. And I like to believe that God is truth more than righteous or holy. Truth.
No, you can't separate one from the other.
From the other.
Yes.
But I mean, it's just, that's why I'm keeping it very personal.
This is an interest, okay.
That's why I'm keeping it very personal. Okay. And why?
God is truth more
than righteous. Because if God was more righteous than truthful, then the unbeliever has no hope.
That's not true.
No, that's not true.
That's not true.
Now we're about
This is religious. This is religious conversation.
This is not
But
our spiritual,
let me take it.
theological discussion.
Let me take it back to my father.
Sounds don't wake
Let
up.
me take.
We don't go agree. We don't go sell our God.
This is a very long conversation, and it's one of the reasons why I think I texted you a while back, and I said it would be great to have a conversation.
But then you didn't come. So please come when you're ready.
I will. So I'll take it back to my father.
Okay.
So I saw my dad give love at different capacity to different people. So we'll go to the market and he would just smile at the market women. He would make jokes, and then the bus conductors would also greet him, elderly people. He was friends with all the owners of building. So with him, I saw how it was possible to relate and then give love to everybody within every capacity, to children, to women, to mothers, to elderly men, to pairs, to, all of that. And that was a choice. He didn't always get it back.
Yeah.
It was a choice built on everything he knows to respect for himself.
Yeah.
And then a service he was willing to give to his people, to society and everything. And not all of it was reciprocal.
Of course.
Because I find that a lot of people are looking for everything they want to give. It's like, if I give you love, you give me back in the same capacity that I have given you.
Right. So people that are looking to say, match the love I'm giving
Match
you,
the love.
otherwise I'm not giving it to you.
Because, like my dad said, if you had remarried, there was a very high chance that this woman that you would have remarried would have maltreated the children you already had. That's a level of consideration. And yes, I feel like not having my mom around did play a role in how I grew up to perceive women. One thing I think I remember that reoccurred was at some point, after I think 7 years after my mom left, she came back and then we had contact. That was when those GSM started to come around. So we'd call sometimes and she would say, "Oh, I'm coming in April this year." It was in January. And then we would patiently wait for April and then she would not show up. And then we'll call her, she'd say, "Oh yeah, something came up, maybe March." And then the whole year would pass. So I feel like that was a trauma that I did not even recognize at the time. Yeah. So with girlfriends at the time, when I was still very monogamous with relationship, it was very...
I love it though. I'm looking at back.
But lean into this, right?
I was still monogamous.
Yeah, but lean into this, right? So because I think you are uncovering something here that the fact that as a child you couldn't depend on your mother's love and you didn't trust that, you learned not to trust that she would be there for you when she said she would.
I didn't even learn not to. I still stayed expectant. And then the disappointment just grew. Right. I didn't know what to do with all of that emotion. I didn't even know anything about it.
And then now, as an adult...
Understanding that the reason why a girl would tell me, or my girlfriend at the time would tell me, "Oh, I'm coming at 5," and then she's coming 5:02. I am...
livid.
At the climax of... and she's wondering, it's just 2 minutes, And even I did not understand what that was at the time.
But now that you know...
Now that I know, I've made my adjustments to understand that and then just,
But just not in the polyamory... Yeah, just,
No.
The
polyamory thing was another totally different experience.
You didn't say it was?
It was a different experience.
Are you done with that?
To explore?
I'm not.
Wanted to explore?
So
don't let them silence
you. No. I'm not exploring. I'm not one to explore. And I think people perceive this polyamory thing as
a
open
phase.
Relationship, so to speak, where everyone can just... No, it is a lot of responsibility. It is emotional responsibility.
How can they respect you now?
No, because now...
like 5 people.
Because now, imagine...
Why like 5 people? I'm just seeing you with like 10 women.
Exactly.
5 looking at like 5 people.
And I feel like God bless Margarita, which was the lady that told me this and then helped me understand it at a level. I like to believe that there's a lot of emotional maturity that I got from being in that. And I do believe that it's not for everybody. Not everybody. Find what works for you. Try and manage it if it does, if it works out for you. Because there are monogamous relationships that have worked out for life. I've looked at all of these things. People have had monogamous relationships that lasted a lifetime. People have have gotten married and divorced. There are different narratives to life. If you find something that works for you, you define what love means for you. You help someone else who is supposed to be a partner with you understand what that means for you and how they can apply themselves.
I think the danger for me is that you say, find what works for you, and if it works for you, keep it going. Fine. But I think the danger with that is that it can end up being a very selfish outlook on life, that you are now not taking into account that what works for you may adversely affect your children or people around you. Because I've known quite a few people who've grown up in flexible situations, whether it's polygamy or whatever the case may be. And I am yet to interact with somebody, this is just me, I'm not saying this is how it is for everybody in the world, but I am yet to interact with somebody who is from that kind of situation, like a polygamous home where there are multiple women and all kinds of children. Some of that has happened in my parents' generation, where there is no dysfunction at all, where the kids, there's not some level of animosity, dysfunction. And I think when, as a man, you take the stance to say, this is who I am, this is what works for me, you will find women who will go along with it. But invariably, if you gave those women a choice, more often than not, they may choose to say, I wish this was just me and you.
Yeah.
But because this is where I've found somebody that cares for me or loves me or whatever,
So it's more like
I
settling.
put up with it. And then because you are the man in the position to make that call, you've subjected your entire lineage to dysfunction or unfortunate circumstances that they didn't really want to sign up for. But because you made that call in a and I'm not attacking you.
No, I'm listening. I'm listening. No, not at all. I'm listening. I'm listening. No, but I'm listening. I'm listening. No.
I'm not attacking you. I love you. You're my guy.
No.
But I'm just saying that I think that is there a responsibility on manhood and fatherhood to think beyond yourself, to think beyond this works for me?
If I'm getting you, are you saying?
I'm asking, really. I'm asking. I'm not trying to preach my values or my views on you.
That's a very valid question because, again, and I have to have me going into the definition of what polygamy, polyamory, they're two different things. So in polygamy, the man decides what is for everybody. And polyamory, the woman can decide what she wants for herself as well. And the thing about that is,
Timi, you see yourself?
The thing about that is,
you thought of it is scary.
No. I feel like I feel like right now it was a phase for me because, and I don't think it is a possibility for the sake of doctrine here in Africa. I've tried. Don't worry. I've tried. It didn't work out.
You wanted to make it a whole.
No. It's not like a. I personally, I don't think I can do more than 2. 2 was already a lot for me.
I wanted to.
I don't think for me. I don't think it goes beyond that. But in that situation, I've never been one to even address my emotions. And now
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Why do you think? Just curious. Why do you think that you needed to?
No, I didn't. Oh yeah. Okay. In the time,
what was the motivation?
At the time, I was dating a girl. She was in Germany. And I only got to travel when we were on tour with the dance company, Q Dance Center I was touring with at the time. Okay. I met her on tour, and then we went back on tour. She would fly down to wherever I was going, and then we would meet up. And that was the first ever serious relationship I ever had. And then she was polyamorous. And then she,
hold on. Like, okay, she had her own people too.
No, she had her people.
But question.
So we met, and then during the course of us dating, I wasn't around. She met other people, and then we had conversations. She would always ask me, how do you feel? And then me, I grew up with the doctrine of one man, one woman. So I was feeling all sorts of things I could not even express. I didn't even know what they were. And then over time, I find myself expressing things I only felt. It was just one sensation like that. So I was finding the words. And I feel like to a great extent, that experience is what has helped me be quote unquote, intelligence wise, whatever, because now I had to confront emotions I knew nothing about. Oh, no, I feel like this because I don't understand this, and this is this and that. So I could put into words what I was feeling and what I wanted. For me, that was what that was at the time. And then the reason why I had a second girlfriend was, it was like, if I don't travel, I don't see you.
And you couldn't break up with her?
Yeah. No, I didn't want to. It was really good because now this is a woman. No, it was really good. I'm not even gonna lie. I've never been that.
Courage.
I've never been that. I've never been that seen in my entire life.
Oh.
Yeah. So like for someone to see you And
Let's get.
Thank you.
I
So why did you
I
break
see you. I see you.
We had different aspirations as to what the future held for us. She wanted to be somewhere else. I mean, she wanted to go to a different country. I wanted differently for myself. So it was just for the future.
So would you have another polyamorous relationship?
Right now, I am strongly not considering it.
But if it happens, it happens.
But no, not like
Because you have experience now. So
Is your second time?
shit.
also,
Shit.
would you go into a relationship with a girl who has a guy and it's three of you? Because now you've been talking about two girls.
So here's the thing. It has to be said to everybody. And that's what makes polyamory different and difficult. Now, she has to go and tell her boyfriend that she's...
Now, but would you be okay with it? Because I'm asking that from an ego perspective now.
Yes.
For a lot of guys,
Yes,
it's like,
me.
my girl is with another guy.
Oh,
is
yeah,
this something
no,
you can handle?
No, I'm cool.
Oh, okay.
I'm totally cool.
God, I beg.
I'm totally cool. As long as he knows what's happening, I know what's happening. We can
Let's not
respect
make
each
it
other.
about...
I think there's a.
It's fine.
Sorry, I know you don't want to
Make it about you.
move, but I do want to say this, that I think that there's a thought process about, or there's an aspect of love that requires choice and commitment to choice. So love is not just a feeling. Love is not just, oh, I love the way I feel about her, the way she feels about me. Love is also saying, I choose you and I will continue to choose you every day. Irrespective of the fact that this may be at play or this, or I may, because you will always meet somebody else that is more beautiful, more handsome, richer, sexier, whatever the case may be. But love requires the commitment, really. And, we're on another conversation and we're talking about how the number one, statistically speaking, the number one factor in divorces and split marriages is a lack of commitment or a loss of commitment, where people are not as committed to the love and to that relationship, where they just feel like they've thrown in the towel, they're not communicating, they're not working out issues, they're just like... And so I think as you consider your options, as you grow and as you evolve and all of that, just, kind of weigh this idea of committing and choosing, making a choice and committing to the choice, because that is where real love lies, is in the ability to stay committed to this and not always, because we all know this, lust doesn't satisfy.
No, never.
There will always be more.
Yeah.
There will always be another woman or multiple women or porn. That's another episode for another day.
Let's not start.
There will always be something else if you lean into that. So, but then if you lean into choice and commitment, then you discover what I think what love really could be.
I don't want us to deviate too much from...
Sorry, yes. Please bring us back.
Because we have left Fatherhood now.
Oh, yeah.
And discussing a bit love life.
But yeah, my experience with my dad, led to a lot of experiences with relationship and whatnot. I think it's the same for everybody. Like you just said, there's a degree of concentration of love that builds character in levels. And then that's definitely something to be taken into consideration. So yeah.
Going back to this whole provider role, and, modern dads now, and, the roles we play in discipline, being present, more present than our dads, and the role to provide. Is it a role as a father to provide for your kids? Or is it a role as parents to provide for your kids? Do you think it's your duty, or do you think it's you and your wife's duty?
Okay, let's put it this way. It's first your duty. Okay, you see how the Bible puts a woman? She's a helpmate. You must be doing something for somebody to help you. You get? You must be doing something for someone to help you. So she has a role. From the genesis of it, she has a role. But your job first is you doing stuff. How do they call it? When she comes in, she makes it easier. The job is to make it easier.
And
Okay, can I just say something about this? And sorry, I didn't mean to
No,
interrupt
sorry.
you, but I think it's important. Like the more that we learn, the more you reach, the more you teach, the more you share, right? So, do you know that the helpmeet in the original translation, like in the original Hebrew, the original language that the scriptures, Aramaic Hebrew, that it was written in, that same word is used to describe God. So when the Bible talks about God, being there for man or whatever the case may be, it's used in that context. So it's not just about saying, help him with what he's doing. It's also the role that God plays with.
So she's
with
a kind
us.
of
she's a
kind of God.
Godfather.
Yes.
She's so how the Bible talks about the Holy Spirit being your helper.
Your comforts, your teacher.
It's like it's so scripture actually uses it in that way, because I think the problem sometimes with us is that I'm not absolving fathers in any way of saying like we are not supposed to provide. I'm not saying that. But I am saying that their role is not just about saying, what's the husband doing? Let me help him. It's also about, what they're able to do and what they're able to bring to the table. It's not, I think for me, I think
So he was talking based on provision, yeah?
In a provider.
Yeah, as a father, yeah.
Yes. So let me put it, if you bring it in that light, like she's the kind of God thing she does around the whole family setting. I'll put it this way. Like, there's something that came to my mind when you were talking. It says, you can't love your wife and not love your children. Do you understand? A man cannot just love his wife.
Yeah.
It will flow down to the children.
Can a man love his children and not love his wife?
Oh, yes.
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 I just wanted to check.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if you...
Plenty love.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you show that amount of love to her, it drips down.
Yes.
They are learning invariably.
Yes.
They are picturing, this is how
you treat a
Yeah,
woman.
this is how you treat a woman.
Yeah.
The son is learning. The girls are learning that this is how somebody should treat.
Are you aware of that?
What is wrong with this?
No, it's just to know because
you take your daughters on dates?
It's those examples that
those girls go out more than anybody.
with you.
Yeah, yes, with me.
This is a very important. I just saw this poll. One of the polls I did again that I
Okay.
wanted to ask about.
Okay.
And I asked, growing up, who looked after you at home? 6% said mostly that. Only 6%. 70 more. Do you think it's changed with us?
Let me give you why it's changed.
Now, this was our parents.
Yes, why it changed with me. Yeah,
are you not here, dear?
No, listen, my daughter.
You're already losing.
No.
Actually,
no. That's what I want to.
Now that you put it that way.
That's what I want to quote to you now. Zoe would leave her mom that is sitting down and dining with her, climb upstairs, take a phone and call me. And say, Hallel is still leaving the light on.
So she didn't report to her mom there?
No. Did you get my point?
Okay, so basically you're still present. Well,
that's
thanks to technology.
So she would, I'm asking, so Hallel likes to read at night. No, Zoe likes to read at night. She takes her books. There's a lamp, but it illuminates the whole room. And Hallel sleeps effortlessly. She can sleep in a generator.
Now the light is on and she can sleep.
Generator room. So she's complaining. So you read earlier so I can sleep. My wife, no send this argument. I would not ask, where's your mom? She's doing stuff. I said, why didn't you tell her? She said, Daddy, I'm like the person that they go to resolve the chaos that is happening at home. So Alex would leave the situation that his mother, I said, Daddy, I'm frying egg. You need to see my egg. Another thing I've noticed is that children love validation. You have to give it to them, or they will seek it somewhere else.
Yeah.
They want this. See, let me put it this way. There's somebody that tells them, well done. That is more important than 99% of the well done they've heard anywhere else.
Yeah, that person.
Every other well done, that was amazing, does not matter as much as this. That's what's up. It's from my children, I learned that. Like, I finished chapter 4. That's what's up. then she can go. You get my point? So if some of the mistake we make is that chapter 4, why? It's only chapter 4 you read. They need to be enjoying those little victories. Those little...
But if you ask your children now, who do they spend more time with? Will it be mostly dad or Muslim mom?
It's their mom.
Muslim mom. Because I think my kids will say Muslim mom. Yeah. But it might not be 70 to 6%.
No, it will not be that.
But we're still at a point where we're not matching. What's it for you?
So until, I want to say maybe about a month ago, I would say it's pretty equal. But I just recently took a role. As you know, I'm teaching in Union College.
The battle now.
So now I'm back and forth to the States a lot more. So in the last month, and it's hurting my soul. Because I'm the dad that wants to, as much as is possible, I want to be there. So I'm cooking, I'm grocery shopping, I'm hanging out, I'm playing. Even when I have to go to work, immediately I come home, I'm taking off my tie and rolling around on the floor with my son. So it's altered now because I took this role where I'm kind of required to be in the States from time to time. I'm teaching in Union College. I'm helping out the church with their international strategy and the college. But so I think in this season specifically, it's more my madam than me.
Saying it's even Muslim mom doesn't necessarily mean that you're not doing your parts. It's not that you are.
Yes, that's a very important point.
But it's also for the kids to know
that you are here.
Because my kids, I think the older one, she's 8 now, so she's starting to understand, okay, it's actually work he's going to.
Yeah.
Because she literally said it on the stage in school one day. They had a whole day. It was International Day of the Family.
Okay.
And they had a surprise. We didn't know. We just showed up at their assembly hall, and they had done all these slides about, and they had to give a fun fact about their mom or their dad. And when she read about my own, she ended it with, "But he's always going out." Now, any other parent sitting there is wondering, these are just like outside.
They on the streets.
But the parents know what to do.
I'm saying you have to give context to this thing. He said, but every time you say you're going to this place, I say it's work. Now she kind of understands it, but
it has to work.
That's where, I guess that conversation is the balance now for them to understand that while I'm trying to be present, I also cannot be always there.
I think that's
so. Does that make so? So like today, I still want to be.
Today, I brought my wife brought my sons on set. Right,
they were here
because I want them to know that if I'm not there,
this is where
because I'm doing something to earn an income or I'm working, and it's not like Papa just doesn't want to be home. And I think that it's harder when they're younger because they don't really understand, what the dynamics of that are. But my prayer is that as they get older, they understand that if I'm not there, it's because I had to be.
Because I want to hear how you're able to do what you're doing now with your family away.
Yeah.
And
I don't like it.
Okay.
Yeah, but
I don't like it.
Did you want to say something?
I had a school of thought. I think I lost it.
Okay, sorry. Go on.
Okay. Let me tell you, the first time I went to drop my family.
Because you feel guilty.
Yes. Till now, I ask myself, what am I?
How long has it been now?
It's 4 years or going to 4 years, yes. Okay, so my wife likes school a lot. Like she likes school a lot, like going to school. So just because you marry somebody, you don't need to thwart their dream or
of course.
Yes, listen. So she wants to go to school. So I told her that in this life I'll make you happy. I've said it from the very beginning. Me, I like simple things. I don't want those plenty things in life. So the first time I dropped my kids and I was coming back, I didn't want to cry in their presence. Like as I just got to the train station and I just came down the taxi like God. I'm very sure people saw me crying.
That is hard.
I don't know how. See, okay, let me do. I don't know how to live without them.
Yeah.
I don't know how. It feels the same. Just when they were going again.
All over again.
Yes, I'm at MM2. I was like, what's like? They've been here with me for 3 months. Yeah. Like they're going again. Like this is not the thing.
My wife and kids traveled for the summer for 5 weeks. When they were going, I won't lie. I was like, oh yeah. Let me wear my boxers free in this house. Go upstairs, come down. Honestly, I don't think it was up to 4 days.
Yeah.
The house was the echo.
Yeah. It's just empty.
It was very hard. So I really...
No, it's
And you struggle with the facts, because I know you've always been present with them. It's something I've always known, even from your social media.
I've not learned.
And then all of a sudden, you don't have them around.
Like, I've not learned this job.
Does it make you question your fatherhood?
That it makes me feel like, oh, sometimes I go and they're telling me long stories of things that have happened. We went for this trip and this, and I'm like, I'm supposed to be here, but I can't say it in their presence. But I always make them know that the reason why I'm going is that so that you can be here. And you see, so that you can...
And this is the story of a lot of men now, because a lot of families now...
I go so that you can do the things that you do. So I put it this way. There's a quote that said, the robe of a passionate person is stained with the blood of sacrifice.
Whoosh.
Say it again. Say it slowly.
The robe of a passionate person is stained with the blood of sacrifice.
Yeah.
You don't have to tell me you're passionate about a thing. I will see the stripes. I will see the stains.
Yeah.
I will see how far, how hard you walk. And I always say this thing. I just learned it recently, that though we're doing all these things, as men, we should not leave ourselves behind. It's very important. I looked at some of the people I grew up with, fathers. They did everything for everybody except themselves. And when everybody grew into a busy world and they were left alone.
Yeah, they've learned not to...
You get my point? There was auntie's child, there was uncle's baby, there was this person's baby. So when the money came, it went everywhere else except themselves. Like there was nothing for me as a person. So I'm thinking, see this generation of children, as they're growing like this, I'm seeing within my children, like I would say, you woke up, wore dress, comb your hair, did your normal thing. You never call me. This is how we do now. Then I says, Daddy, sorry, school boss one thing, one this. I said, see, don't do that again. But I'm noticing that they will not give me as much time. I mean, I tell my wife, say, baby, after now, when Zoe just went down, say she the way we go run, we go block them for 2 weeks. We don't go repeat them. So I'm just saying that parents, as you're doing this thing, your whole life is circled around these children, make them better. You're a very important part of the equation of your life.
So there's a guy that I know who, and there are actually many people that I know who, in these situations where maybe the father is working in one country and the family is elsewhere. And I think that for those of us who have seasons where that becomes necessary, we just have to be, like you say, intentional, right? There's a guy that I know who, his wife wanted to go off to nursing school in the States. So, the kids went with her. And he literally everything, earning in Naira and paying for university. And so literally he spent easily over, I want to say, I don't remember the exact amount of time, but maybe 10 to 15 years just working tooth and nail
and just shipping
the money abroad. By the end of that period, the wife asked for a divorce.
When they were done?
When they were done. And the wife said, we don't even really have a marriage anymore.
Because they grew apart.
They grew apart. She's like, we're not, don't it's tell me that you're... It's not your portion in Jesus' name. It's not our portion in Jesus' name.
Not our portion in Jesus' name. I say,
it's not...
All of us go gather come.
So you mean not your portion?
We are together.
But I bring up... Pay my money! I bring up that story to say that we still have to be intentional about being present. Not just for the kids, but also for the wives, for the partner. You still have to have a relationship, and I know you do. So I'm not talking about.
No, I do try.
I'm just saying that.
Why did you say, you know me, I do?
But you are living here with your wife now. You're not separate. You're not interfering with something.
You don't need to now.
Even one day they sleep outside. You say, Ebuka, where are you?
But I think so. I'll land on this. So I think that with couples, right, with a husband and a wife, you have to decide what your rules of engagement are ahead of time. So, for instance, my wife and I decided way before our marriage even started that if we're in the same city, we sleep in the same house. So, if we decide we're sleeping in a hotel, we're both in the hotel. If we're coming to the house, we're both in the house. But there will never be a scenario where we're in the same city and I'm here or you are here. Because pretty early in marriage, in that first year when you're trying to work out the kinks, you now fight. She will now say she's packing her bag and going to our sister's house. Going to your sister's house to do what? You can go and say hello. When you finish, please come back to the house that we have.
Sister, she's my in-law. Let's go.
Yes, you know,
I want to greet her too.
so I think in these kinds of scenarios, you have to kind of decide what those rules of engagement are. How often are we going to see? When are we going to see? You know, just so that you are protecting against those things,
those gaps that
can just make
silently. You know, they don't say the day.
Small. You go just no say
from good morning to eye again.
So,
have you found your train of thought?
It's a great thing you came back around that being present. I feel like the definition of that puts men at a disadvantage. If it has to be physical, if what it means to be present has to be physical every time, it puts men at a disadvantage because now, again, roles, provider, protector. Most times, what it means to do those things do not succumb to the home or being in the house. What it means to provide would mean to go and hustle somewhere and then bring the money back home. So if what it means to be present for a man would always be physical, then he's at a disadvantage because the role that he's given, quote unquote, he cannot fulfill it unless he's doing trading from home, which means he will still be in front of a laptop or whatever it is, doing all of that.
Can you marry a woman who's the provider? Can you be with a woman?
I don't know. Me personally,
I could.
I could marry a woman who earns more than me.
Just to reiterate.
No, but the way the question came about is like asking if I can just relax and then be the. I like to believe myself to be a very hardworking person, very responsible at a level as well, and I like being those things. So even without being pushed or asked, I want to go and look for work so I can take care of my brothers. Right now, that's the level of responsibilities that I have. Parents and the rest of it, make sure there's food at home and all of those sort of things. So I'm already within the line of making sure that I can take care of myself. And currently, I'm taking care of more than just myself. And I think I like doing that. So I'm not going to ever not want to work. Yeah. But yes, I can definitely be with a woman who earns more than me, has more than me, without any hassle whatsoever. I will carry kids to school if I'm opportune to. When I eventually become a father, I don't think
you'll be a stay-at-home dad.
I can be. If need be, I can. But I don't think currently I have the capacity to be that. Because
I've always wondered if this provider tag, I know it's attached to, is it an ego trip for us? Or a personal, I have to provide for my family? Or is there also the shame factor from society that says, this is what a man's role is? It's a to give your wife money, you know?
Child.
Does it hurt you more hearing that? Or is it more your, I have to, because this is my role.
So there are certain things that sound intelligent, but they're not true. And why they sound intelligent is because they've been said a lot of times over the years. Like in music, we say, if you want to emphasize it, repeat it.
If you want to
emphasize it, repeat it. So if you say something long enough, it becomes truth. Yeah. And it gets stuck in people's head. You see that thing of na man supposed to has even put more pressure and more load.
The real load.
On a man's shoulder. Like, I heard one guy say, no, I do everything. I don't want my woman talk to me anyhow. I heard him say it. And he didn't say that thing from just himself. He got it from somewhere.
Yeah.
But he said it in confidence, thinking that all that is his truth. But it's not. I will do my part. And if I need help, if my wife needs to pay for stuff, we need to pay for stuff and she has the money, I will say, babes, please, I beg.
Do this one.
I have my money, buy something, do this one. You get? It's not an ego thing. It's a
thing of pride.
Be involved. Like, I told, what was I telling? I told my friend the other day, say, you see, did you see what our parents be the vex for us when they come back from, especially our fathers? They don't come back, struggle. They'll come see us, they watch TV.
They go just vex. Come on, stand up.
Come on that TV. What people do is watch TV in this house.
The ones maybe they come past, greet.
You don't see me?
You didn't say welcome, daddy.
No, the reason why they were angry is that
You need to stand up and prostrate.
do you know what I've been doing all day for you to just be watching TV? It's like when the Bible says more than conqueror. You know the person who conquer come.
Or the first way you come.
Then you can't bring the thing, come submit. That's how. Then sometimes you just see my father. You just say. Every time, only food. And they chop for this.
I said, what do you watch up?
What you doing? Now what do we do? But it's because they were thinking like 6, 7 things at the same time. They were NEPA bill. They were thinking school. School. Even if you are in school, when they think of next term.
You see? You see what I mean about being present? Even at work, you are present at home because that's your
Is there a
thought
difference
process.
in fatherhood behavior by tribe in Nigeria? Behavior or expectations by tribe? Is there a tribal aspect to this? I'm just curious.
I wonder if there is because with Igbos,
No, I think
right?
there is.
Oh yeah.
Let me tell you.
Let's Ebuka.
I just wonder. Igbos are we're probably one of the most conservative tribes in Nigeria. We're very patriarchal. Easterners are it's a man's.
Yeah.
Probably more than.
Yep.
Okay, I don't know about the North. Maybe Northerners are a little.
Like us
But
as well.
Igbos generally, wealth is a big deal. Success is a big deal. Some people say it's why Igbo men are some of the last, based on age, to get married of any tribe. And Igbo man will most likely never get married until, I have a house, I bought a car, my business is thriving. He needs to be on a certain level of success before he starts thinking, because he wants his wife
to be like his trophy and
come into luxury.
Glory.
Yes, I've said this before. I don't know if any other tribe that has a title like Oriako, which literally means chopper of wealth. And it's a pet name that Igbo men give their wives. Oriako.
I can't come
The
out
chopper of my wealth.
Wow.
So I'm speaking now from my perspective. I guess I don't know any other tribe that is that way.
Yeah.
An Igbo man can stay single till he's 48 because he's trying to hit a milestone. Then that wedding, you said you're going to say do wedding. Right. It's how we are.
Yeah.
A lot of our masculinity, fatherhood, husbandness is defined by the things you've achieved, acquired, and all of that. I don't know many other tribes that are that way, but I don't know what your point was.
I think not every tribe is like that. I think like this, just after my jam, I went to stay with someone. And I discovered, let me not call. The women are the ones that wake up in the morning and go to work. Like, it was surprising to me. Like,
Where was it, Ghana?
No, Nigeria.
Okay.
What's wrong with you?
I was wondering.
Like, the women are the ones that go, even the bricklaying jobs.
Really?
Yes, I was like, it was a thing.
But is that
so the men were...
Is that a group of people or a specific couple that you're talking about?
No, I'm talking like, a particular place.
Where was this, sorry?
Somewhere in the Niger Delta.
Oh, yeah.
But you know these things I'm saying, if you come to the East, women are waking up sometimes before their husbands. They are going to the farm to bring out cassava, soak it, because they're going to make fufu or apple, So women are also equally
doing stuff.
Working.
No, but I'm saying that
but
the men are relaxed.
Still.
No, I'm saying the
they want to retire from that farm.
As in.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
For me to marry, I say, okay, see that's apple way they go. Stop it. Come on.
So it's a thing, like, I think it's the okay, where was I? My chain of thought about this thing. So
tribe.
I was first of all talking about how our parents were always angry when they show up and we were. So relax. I'm looking like it's because they didn't have much and there were too many things on their shoulders, especially the dads at that time. So that's why when they don't come home with a happy face. So everybody scamper, they find one place where we could go hide. But I looked at it now, like, I think it's the thing of joy. That's why you ask me, on your way back, please, can I have ice cream? Like me walking into the ice cream shop that my daughter sent me to buy ice cream, and I bought it and she's laughing. Gives me another explainable joy. So you get what I'm saying? Like, she can open fridge and say, Daddy, I'm going downstairs, I want to take apple. Do you want something? In my generation, you woo, open fridge. What do you do?
You don't know, so not even be telling your daddy.
You understand? Like, if they had a certain level of comfort and like they've done stuff and they were not under much pressure, it's a thing of joy for a father, for a child to say, "Daddy, I want that," and they get it. And you're the one that provided this for them. So I don't. That again, we should not be blaming our parents for things we didn't experience. Inside that there are small money, sister's child money follow inside.
Yes.
The economy is not adding up. Until now, I'm saying it too. If you are spending money on just your children and you are complaining, I cannot explain how one man that works as a civil servant was doing this, was building house in the village.
Oh my God.
Was giving the sisters money. No, it does not really add
The
up.
math is
we
not
need to
mathing.
sit down and ask, how did you do this thing?
Corruption.
It's,
Let's round up.
please, kudos to our parents. Kudos we don't complain. Kudos to our parents.
Kudos to them.
They were.
On a final note, what are expectations of fathers in 2025? We have been through the way our fathers raised us. Some of us are becoming fathers now. What do you expect of today's fathers? But especially about being present. I think that's the one thing a lot of people want to see differently. Men already believe they should provide anyways, but being present, I think, is the one push that a lot of fathers need to or expect to do more with.
Okay, I'll go
He
first.
said he's 50-50 with his wife, so he should teach us.
I'll go first because I think that the roles of fathers have evolved over time. And, there was a time in society when the expectation on a father was just protector, provider, and you live being present to the mom.
So it's 3 P's now: protector, provider, present.
And being present. Yeah.
3P.
I think that it's important now that as fathers, we take this into account and within reason. So you may have a job that you have to be in a different place, but you have to be creative and find innovative ways to still be present in your children's lives and in your wife's life. Otherwise, you are potentially leading yourself into a world of trouble where you are so far removed that you no longer belong. So I think it will look differently in each home, but at least let the mindset be open to the idea of being present. And then you and your wife will work out what that means in the kingdom of your house and what that looks like. So for me, it might look completely different than from you. But what we can say is the common thing here, the common thread, aside from provider, protector, and being present, is sacrifice, selflessness, and service. You said, there's a quote you said, that is my favorite thing that we've said here today, that the robes
of a passionate person is stained with the blood of sacrifice.
The robes of a passionate person is stained with the blood of sacrifice. I think that's such a powerful...
Clock it.
Yeah. I think that's such a powerful quote, and it's one that is going to stick with me, because I think that explains what true fatherhood is. Is the ability to say, I've been gifted with this opportunity to steward this family, and whatever sacrifice is required of me, then I'm going to do that. For some, it may mean being away. For some, it may mean putting your pride aside and, man, go and change the diaper and carry the baby or get in the kitchen or do the dishes or take the trash out. Like, there's no, a woman does this and me, I do that. No. I think we need to evolve past that. So that's where I'll drop it.
So to me, it's to intentionally shower the house with love. Intentionally. To love the mom, love the mom, love the children, love yourself.
Very important.
Yes.
That last part.
In doing that, you are raising people in love. They are not seeing strife, arguments. The children
Division
pick things. They have picture images. They just pick things that you to surprise you. Like one day I was talking to my son and I said something. I said, no, that's not me. That's my grandma. I said it. No, this is not me saying this thing. It's my grandmother said that, like, this is almost years back, but I said it and it came out and I knew where that came from. So love their mom, let them see it. Like, oh, go out on dates. Let them see, no, this part of this evening does not concern all of you.
Yes, so
it's just us.
Oh, they pay my children.
No, it pays my.
So you're good.
I told my daughter I'm taking my wife. I'm taking my wife to Paris.
Me and my wife.
Yeah, yes, I said I'm taking my wife to Paris. 3 is the crowd. Like you guys, if you can warm soup now. You can. So they should see that. They should see that, and they should see that. Yeah, in the time that you are with them, it is quality time.
Yeah.
That you are concerned about what concerns them. So tell me what happened.
Yeah.
Who's your best friend? Oh yeah. If I give you 40 pounds, what will you buy? So even the financial talk has to happen. And it has to happen early because the world that we're living in outside is unforgiving. It's not going to care if anything happens inside the house. It's not going to do that.
Just making you pay for the knowledge you don't have.
Yeah, they should know financial. They should have a belief and principle that there are certain things that I still can't do. I'm in my 40s. I can't do it in the presence of some of my uncles. Because in their head, I'm still that boy.
Yep.
Timi. Are you a bit
That's the way there are people that can never bring on television to talk about me. My show money will reduce. So you get my point. Like, they should have family values. I always tell my son, look after these girls. What's wrong with you? You are walking in front, they are behind. They say they are walking slow. Those kind of little things. Like, okay, hello. Talk to your sister with respect. You don't always have to win every argument. These things are small things, but I will hear them say, Daddy said, on the phone, or when the three are calling me to argue about it, Daddy said, but Daddy said, we can share. The one when they share, they code that in fast. So, love, how did they say it? Love is not love until you share it. It's just like all the money they for bank, where if you go collect, freeze your account, if you don't do anything, say, I'm a rich man. They feel collect the money. See, love is not love until you share it.
Valid.
You got to express it.
Got any points?
You're
not a father, so
I'm not. But like from everything here is basically, I think you already spoke about it as well, is that what it means to be a father is evolving over time. There are things that have worked, are still working. Take cognizance of them. Adapt them. There are things that have not been in the conversation, like the internet now. To raise a child now, you have to be really present, especially in their emotions. Because I think the last P, the presence, is not even about like being physically there. It's like being present in the emotion that it takes to run a family, more than it means being physically there all the time. And then a lot of emotions are mostly physically. You'd experience them and can detect them from physical presence more than over the phone, because tone might
differ.
It might differ over time. So maybe what that means is just like being emotionally present, like you also mentioned, being able, and you also agreed, being able to speak to your children about things that concern them that might not really interest you, to be very intentional about being there emotionally for them. So you can also direct their emotional balance, because if they're not speaking to you, they're speaking to somebody else. And what's the guarantee that the person you're speaking to has quote unquote good emotional balance to bestow on them? So yeah.
And that actually leads me to the point I was going to make, just to wrap this up, about what I think being present is, or should look like for a lot of people, different, especially from our parents, is listening to our children. I don't think we got listened to. It's like this.
Yeah, this is so old school.
A word. This is poetry.
A word has been dropped.
I don't think we got listened to a lot. Our fathers did, like you said, the provision, the providing.
At what age did you hug your dad?
Any funny thing now? My dad became that guy after he had retired from banking for 35 years. I did that, man. When I see my dad now, he catches me, he hugs, he kisses my forehead.
Oh.
At what age did you tell your dad I love you for the first time?
After I got married.
So you were in your 30s?
No, well in my 30s.
Same here.
Well in my 30s.
We didn't say I love you.
And it was...
No, I didn't hear my dad
And he
say it and I didn't say
replied
it
with a
until I was
very,
I make
apparently
my
very
two children
sarcastic,
say,
I love you too. Is this what we're doing now?
yeah. So, but
You know, an Igbo chief is like,
yes. What is wrong
But
with
now
this?
let me ask you a question.
So, yeah.
At what age? I bet you your children hear that every night.
Before they started hearing anything.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
They were already hearing.
My conversations end with that.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
My conversations end with that.
I say multiple times a day, first thing in the morning, and the afternoon. It's a normal part of, you know, so it's just that listening. And when I say listening, it's their needs, them even feeling heard. It might be something you don't care about, but just, okay, yeah, are you serious? That's what happened. It's that level of comfort. Yeah. I don't know that your child needs to be your friend, but I think you need to listen to your child. Yeah. And I think that's what being present means to me. All right, ladies and gentlemen, yes, please share with us your thoughts in the comments. Let us know if you agree or disagree with anything that's been said here today. Value by Timi. And let us know in the comments. Share this also with your friends, male or female. Let's get your thoughts on fatherhood in 2025, 2026, whenever you're watching this, and things that need to be done differently, especially with being a present father. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Cheers, people.
Cheers.
So you know it's bad luck to cheers with an empty glass.
Somebody said I wrote that thing.
You've been tuned in to Mentality with me, Ebuka, and my co-host, Banky W. If you enjoyed today's conversation, please make sure to rate, review, and follow Mentality with Ebuka wherever you listen to your podcasts. Thanks for listening, and catch you next time.